Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Yo on the Go Leadership Moments. Our special guest today is Tom Coughlin. He is a longstanding member of the IEEE, and he's actually a founder of the IEEE Rising Stars, and he's also a featured speaker this year. Tom has his own company. He's president of Tom Coughlin's Associates and has been a leader in storage solutions for the last 20 years, from hard drives to solid state devices to cloud devices. So I just want to give you a warm welcome, Tom, and thank you for being able to be a part of the Yo and Go series. We're talking about leadership, and one of the questions I had for you is that starting your own business, doing technical consulting, takes a lot of leadership and also a lot of courage. And I'm kind of curious how you got started in that field.
Well, I had been working in digital storage industry for about 20 years before I finally went on my own. And I'd been working in a number of companies, both engineering and senior management. And I was working for a startup actually. It was in 1999, and they went broke. And I figured, I could run an organization at least as good as these guys. And that's basically what got me started. Actually, I'd done some consulting gigs on and off before then, sort of on the side, and while I was in between things, but I decided, yeah, might as well do my own thing. And basically, since 2000, I've been on my own and running my own company. So it's been about 20 years now.
That's really exciting. It sounds like if you're running your own company, you tend to have to wear a lot of different hats as a founder. And I'm kind of curious, how do you balance all of those different roles while at the same time delivering, a very high quality product to your clients?
Yeah, so it's when you're working on your own or you start your own organization, you're not necessarily uh, working the least hours. Oftentimes, you end up working doing more than what you would if you were working for somebody else. And you also have to be broader as well. So doing my own business, I had to learn more about doing the bookkeeping, balancing the budget, um, going after clients, and of course satisfying the clients. And I've hired people to help on things as I've needed them, and done a lot of things myself. My own path or journey has probably been a bit unusual in that I've done consulting work, for the last 20 years on a number of different things, from technical work to business management, due diligence for investors, all sorts of different things. But I've also put on events that storage-oriented events, storage and storage application events. There was a Storage Visions conference, which is before the
Mhm.
Consumer Electronics Show, for about 15 years, that I started and put on. In fact, that's a bit about that is buried in the history of the Rising Stars Conference. Uh,
Hmm.
and I also created a creative storage conference that focused on digital storage and professional media and entertainment that I did for many, many years. And I was chair of the Flash Memory Summit for 10
Hmm.
years, and I've done a whole bunch of other events. In addition, I also write things. I do a regular blog on storage and memory topics and applications for Forbes.com. I also do blogs for storage and media and entertainment applications for a number of media and entertainment uh, uh, websites. And I do reports on digital storage topics. This year, I did a report on emerging non-volatile memory technologies with a colleague. And also, I've done an annual report on digital storage in professional media and entertainment. So I've done I believe it's my 17th issue of that, basically an annual report. So, like I say, my path has probably been a bit unique, but obviously, it involves things that get me, who I am and the things that I do out into the public. I probably give like 20 um, or more invited talks, or nowadays webinars, a year on storage and its applications. And I've also done white papers with people, and I did a book on digital storage and consumer electronics that I did a second edition on with Springer a couple of years ago, the second edition. So it's been a lot of different things, but it's been a balance of doing the work, but also some of the things I do put me in the public. And I think that's really helped in terms of people knowing who I am. And when they think about a topic, my name comes up, as somebody who's knowledgeable in that area. So that's a bit about my particular path, and as I say, it's probably in its particular way unique.
Well, that's really, really interesting to hear your experiences. Just having all of that experience in multiple companies beforehand, and then making the leap to do your own business, but doing it in your very unique way that matches your unique skill sets. I think that's really interesting to hear. I'm kind of curious, as you work with others in the industry. You're meeting a lot of CEOs, CTOs inside the industry, and the people who are in companies. How, as a technical consultant, do you lead in this particular manner?
So, first of all, it's an interesting lead for me that I write this blog for Forbes.com because and I do other writings because I have a great excuse to talk to these people to find out the latest things they're working on.
Mm.
And so I've gotten, so I have a lot of opportunities to talk to people in the storage industry or things that are related to storage, and they will tell me interesting things because they're hoping I'll write about them. But in the course of that also, I've ended up doing a lot of projects where I've worked with people on communicating their technology outside. This year and last year, for instance, there was a start, at least one or two startups that I helped out in terms of what's going on in general in the industry and what's the opportunity for them. There's again, it's interesting. It's if you can put yourself in a place where you can talk to people that are going to make a difference, that can do things, I think it really enables you both to keep up with what's going on, but also to tie yourself into it and find a role that you can play into it. And for some people that will be being on the team, the actual company team, and for other people it may be doing work on the side or that enables that, but not not a full-time part of it. So I've done stuff that's longer term, over a course of time, and also shorter term things with a lot of different organizations doing a lot of different sorts of things, but all related to that general topic of digital storage and memory and in their various applications.
That's really, really insightful to hear that you have that opportunity to not only work on short-term tasks that are more tactical, but to really work on strategic, long-term vision. It seems like all of your different areas are kind of stacking on top of each other and giving you synergies across the board. What other advice would you have for, let's say, an aspiring rising star at the conference who will ask, "Oh, I'm interested in doing technical consulting. How do I get started? What's the pitfall that I should watch out for?"
So I think a lot of, not all, but a lot of successful consultants start out working, have regular jobs to begin with, are part of some other organization. Although then there are organizations that basically, do consulting work, like there's business consultants, things of that sort. There's organizations, that specialize in that. Also analyst organizations, you can start out with those as well, but you can also start out just working as a general engineer, or a technologist in industry. But I think it helps both in terms of gaining experience, but also in gaining connections. And one of the things you do if you want to excel in your field, part of it is knowing things. The other part of it is knowing people. And if you can do those together to the extent that you have a valuable combination of people, or you're able to work with people to help make things get done, you can get a lot done. And that could be both within an organization, or if you're starting a company, or if you're basically being a consultant. But I think one of the challenges is a lot of our technologies change rapidly over time, and so keeping current, keeping generally abreast of the latest things and the sort of stuff that's going to get people investing money in time, and remaining relevant in those areas, I think is a very key part of having a long-term successful career. And I've been blessed in that I've been given great opportunities for being able to do that. And I still, try to read a lot, and generally and listen to things and try to find out what people are doing. And if there's some possibility of doing something useful where I can play a role, getting a hold of them and asking them, many times, or sometimes they'll get a hold of me and ask me to help.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for sharing that. That ultimately it's about not only what you know, but who you know and the connections you've built over a course of a career that makes you successful. I think those are just really key insights that I've gotten from the Rising Stars Conference. And thank you so much for your time and just sharing a little bit about yourself. And we're looking forward to hearing your speaking at the Rising Stars. And I just want to encourage all the viewers out there to check out the Rising Stars this year. Rising Star Conference is a global conference. It's a global virtual conference starting on January 2nd, 2021. The links are below and they're clickable. So click on there and register today. I hope this was helpful for you. Until next time, bye.